Okay, so time to make our bass line for this US-inspired house track. And I want it to make it quite sort of subby, but with a bit of character. And I'm going to use the Logic Retro Synth, which comes with the package in the DAW. It's a great synth. It's sort of based off classic monophonic synths. It's almost 4 synths into one. So you've got like a standard analog synth, and that's a variation of that. And then you've got like a table wave synth, where you can choose different harmonics and waves, basically, that you can then amend in this section, a bit like a PPG wave synthesizer back in the day. And the FM is, as you can see by the colours, it's very reminiscent of a DX synthesizer. And I'm going to be using the table synth, which gives a quite an FM sort of sound. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through the tables, and I'm going to go to one that I think I can amend quite well. Let's go for FM. So as you can see, all the synths are pretty much laid out the same. You've got your cutoff, and you've got your filter FM, static envelope, LFO, and the envelope on that. Extra boost with the sine wave. You can put a flanger on. So this is pretty packed up. And then you've got the LFO, the filter, and the amp envelope, which is basically how long and short and sustained the actual sound is. And also with the filter envelope, so same script. So first thing I'm going to do, like I say, I've got the FM sweep, and I'm going to take it down probably. Okay, so I'm taking that down 24 semitones, because I want obviously the bass to be quite deep. And let's just use one of the oscillators. Okay, and I want to make that definitely a bit smoother with a cutoff. And I'm going to roll some more filter off with the envelope. So this is just going to dull that bass out. Because what we want is just something with character, but something with some low end as well. It's not bad. And I'm just going to tweak the length of the sound with the amp envelope. So I want it quite short. Let's see the filter as well. Doesn't sound too bad. So very quickly you can, get quite a dubby bass sound. Let's see if we can play in a bit of a riff. But before that, I'm just going to take a little bit more of the release off. I think that'll be better. Okay, let's try a few patterns. And then once I'm doing this, I can actually go back to the synthesizer and mess around with that. Just copy that over there. I think that's a bit more consistent. So I just want like a straight ahead groove. Just trying different swings on it. Okay, so let's just have a little tweak on the synth itself. Take a bit of cut off the actual sound. And maybe we could try even tabling some different sounds. That's pretty fat. Let's have a listen to it in isolation. We could maybe lose the last note as well on the less is more, but we'll try. So I'm doing one note off, on. Now I'll probably leave them in. Okay. And I think that's basically what I'm after. So let's EQ it and get some compression on and see if we can rough it up a little bit. Okay, so we'll get some EQ. That ready. So you can see it's a lot of low end. So I'm just gonna scoop some out a little bit so the kick can come through. So what I always do is take it all the way past where I want and then just take it back. So we took a little bit off and we don't really need any of top end, not that there is much. And let's get a compressor on that. Let's go for our vintage VCA. And I'm going to do 3-to-1. Okay, I'll over compress it. And let's try some of our parallel effects. So we've got a distortion and we've got a parallel compressor as well. So let's try the distortion. And try a little bit of parallel compression as well. Yeah, that's sounding good. I'm just going to have another mess around with the pattern just to get it bang on how I want it. So what I usually do is just take notes out that might not be necessary. It really is less is more. So let's have a go. Yeah, that bit's all right. Let's take it bar by bar. Like I say, just getting rid of things that you might not necessarily need. Let the drums breathe. Again, I think I'll just take these ones out. Let's lengthen that one. Okay, let's have a quick listen to that. Yeah, feeling that. It's got a really nice sort of jacking, rolling US sort of feel. Might tweak the bass a little bit more, but generally speaking, I think that's a pretty good bass line for our track. So in the next tutorial, let's get some chords to go with that and maybe find some stabs as well.